Hello, mystical stars. Welcome to today's tarot reading. Today we're looking at what advice do your guides have for you when it comes to relationship dynamics in your life, be it romantic or family. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could even be with your pet. It could be with your dog. It could be with your past, with yourself. But we're specifically focusing on resolving anything that needs resolving in a relationship. We're going to use the Empath Oracle, which is this deck that I created. So these are kind of some themes that we'll be looking at. We'll also be using a tarot deck and maybe a few other oracles. So take a moment with me and tune into your heart so that you are drawn to the right pile for you. You might hear from your guidance that you need to look at all four. And we'll choose one, and then we'll proceed one at a time. Okay, number ones, so good to have you with me today. Let's take a look at what your card has to say. Our starter card from the Empath Oracle. In this situation, it's important to heal your body. Tending to your health is encouraged. It will support you in feeling your best. Empaths experience burnout, and we need to care for our bodies. Explore additional ways to support your physical well-being. This could be in a big or small way, and you'll be glad you did. So, time to heal your body. Let's pull another Empath Oracle. Let this one go. Release this fish back into the ocean, so to speak. It doesn't belong to you, and it's better that way. No matter the situation, we don't always get it right the first time. No need to be upset, though. No need to hold on to this situation. It's just not worth it to you, and you're better off letting it go. So paired with Heal Your Body, I just wanted to get a little additional insight into this card. Paired with Heal Your Body, this means you've been taking on way too much. And your stress levels have gone through the roof to the point you may not even recognize what it feels like not to be stressed. And it's time for you to learn how to recognize that again and to heal your body. We're going to pull a few from the Weaver Tarot. We have the Hermit. Does that not fit the same theme? Well, this could actually be interpreted multiple ways. I would say on its face, the Hermit means it's time to pull back. Pull back, go within, and retreat. I also would like to use the Weaver Tarot, which is a fairly new one. I love the illustrations. I can't wait to share them with you. We're going to do a quick shuffle of these cards. What wisdom do number ones need to hear from their guides? Have the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune. This card usually indicates expansion. And it also can indicate time passing. Let's pull a clarifier to see what direction we're going here with the Wheel of Fortune. We have Two of Wands. So this to me indicates you're a planner and you like to plan ahead. You probably are the type who has a retirement account and is good with money and likes to have a 5-year plan and a 10-year plan. You set your goals and you stick to it, even when it's hard. Okay? We have the Knight of Pentacles. Persistent, stable, reliable. The Hermit here is also associated with Virgo, and Virgos are known to be like this as well. So you kind of got it figured out. right? You have your plan for life, but it's kept you inside of a kind of a bubble that is limiting you and wearing you out. So you might be wondering, why am I so worn out, grumpy, exhausted, etc.? And I sense some depression symptoms. Because once you feel like you've got the right path, why would you change it, right? But then there's this card indicating the need to let some things go. And you might feel some resistance because you've been on this particular path or had this pattern for a while now. So let's pull from another oracle deck to give you some perspectives on how to proceed, because I would never want to advise you to go against your own wisdom, right? What you feel is best. But feel like for you, you have invisible walls around you that sometimes feel claustrophobic, and you may not know why they're there or what to do about them, and you may just be coming to realize that it's a problem. So here we are. Let's solve it. We have the Shinto shrine. So this indicates retreat. Not necessarily going on a retreat, though you may want to go on a meditation retreat, but pull back, maybe seek wisdom from some spiritual teachers. We're going to stick this right next to the Hermit because it is basically the same card. I absolutely love it when the cards validate themselves through different decks. I just think that's magic. The magical thing about doing readings. We're going to pull another Empath card because I'm feeling drawn to them. And we have take action. Interesting, because along with this, we have the let go card, right? So take action. It's important in this situation. It's important to take action. Now is not the time to think. It's time to act. There's no rush. Just take one step in the right direction. You'll feel much better. Think about one thing that you've been postponing. Count from 5 to 1 and take action. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So, some procrastination. And I feel that this has to do with you being so, like, keeping your what's that phrase? Your head to the grindstone? That sounds awful. I'm not sure if that's the right phrase. Anyway, you've been very focused. You've been grinding away at your goals here. And you put something off. You put something off related to connection with others. And I feel this is what will disrupt the feeling of maybe feeling trapped that you might be experiencing. And we have this encouragement here to seek some spiritual help. But all this is so solitary. And I'm thinking this is what needs to happen. Repair a relationship, perhaps. Reconnect with some old friends. Make plans with other people. Get some advice. We have the 5 of Cups, so there's been some disappointment. Again, the need to let go. And we have the Conqueror or Knight of Swords. Overthinking. So what did I say? You've been thinking way, way too much about your long-term plans and goals. And at a certain point, human beings, we can't control the flow of things anymore. The wheel always turns. Life keeps changing. And you need to shake up your path a little bit here. You need to let some things go and let other things in, namely connection. If there's a phone call you've been postponing, this might be your call to action. So for some clarity for you, and again, I had mentioned this was about relationships. This is about your relationship with yourself and how you can improve that relationship with yourself by not forgetting about your friends, people in your life. Oh, look at that. See what I just say? We have Five of Cups again. There's been a loss and a need to take action to repair. I don't get the feeling you necessarily need to repair a relationship that was not good for you. But this one here, let this one go. It says to throw the fish back into the sea. And I feel that that goes right in with the Five of Cups here, to let painful past connections go, but take action to rekindle connection with people that you remember liking, that you got along well with, that maybe you've been friends for a while, we haven't spoken for a bit. Maybe you lost touch with them even for years. You can still reconnect. You can still form that bond again. So since we're kind of starting to come full circle by pulling Five of Cups twice, I feel like this is the main message here, but I think there's a little bit more. So let's see what it is. The Knight of Wands. So we've got the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands. So Knight of Swords is kind of an overthinker. Knight of Wands is very impulsive. So there is a possibility that you have this other side to you that overthinks and acts quickly. And so maybe you've been in the long-term slog as a safe route, but part of you still kind of needs to take action, right? The Knight of Wands is all about action. So I think you know what you need to do. And it's time to repair some old connections. And don't ruminate over the past. And, you know, if you shake up your life a little bit, you know, if you break up your routine, you can still reach your goals. I'm moving these so you can see them. This thing, important. Over time, long-term planning. You can still stick to your long-term plans without being quite so rigid in your the way you go about it. And remember to open up and to be soft as well. So I'm wishing you the best and blessings to you. Hello, number twos. Pardon me. Let's see what your card is today for today's reading. Ground your energy. When you get a chance, stand barefoot on the ground and sense the electromagnetic energy of the earth for a few minutes. Let it surge through your feet. Now is a good time to reflect on what is most important to you. Make your choices with those priorities in mind. Take a grounded and practical approach to life. So, starting out with an urge to ground. Don't we all need that? So we're going to pull from the Strange Women deck. Strange Women is actually a brand of perfume, but they put out this deck and I'm in love with it. So, all right. Bats? Cute. I wouldn't say bats are grounded. They take flight. But they're also, you know, kind of magical and stealthy. So you could say that they're wise and intuitive because they pick up information through vibrations. And we have, hypnosis on this side. This is kind of like the Seven of Cups in the tarot. It's like, you know, you can see all the different layers around their eye. And when you look into the eye, there's flowers in the eye. So it's like seeing visions of things. Not a grounded card. So this could be indicating This is your activities lately. Maybe you've been extra focused on spiritual things, and you might need to balance it. And Labyrinth is about coming to a place of wisdom. Make sure that's visible. Gotta shift a little bit here. There we go. We have the Labyrinth. Wow, so I'm getting a picture of what this is saying. However, we're going to clarify a little bit with the tarot before I go into advice. Because all of these cards are very spiritual, except the center one, which is about grounding, which is also spiritual, but you know what I mean. Okay, Page of Wands. I don't know why I'm running out of room today. I feel like I create plenty of room, but then I don't have it. Okay. Anyway, we have the High Priestess. So, wow, your energies, number 2, is so fascinating. Because we have here this animal representing intuition, paired with the High Priestess, who is all about intuition. In a way, the bat could be the High Priestess, which is you extending out psychic feelers, thoughts, and intuiting information. And here we have the Page of Wands, which is a card about being a beginner, staring right up at this hypnosis card. So it looks like your sights are on the spiritual, on the metaphysical, and on the uncertain, kind of watery, non-solid aspects of life. And then in the labyrinth here feels kind of impenetrable. It feels in this case like something that is a bit obscuring. And at the same time, the way I felt, I didn't plan it this way, but the way I laid it out, we have a triangle shape here of 3 of these oracle cards. And the 3 creates a foundation. And it's also, if this is a triangle, it's pointing downward, which is Earth. Pointing towards Earth. And so I feel that there's a dual nature to where you're at right now, number 2s, where you're very focused on learning about metaphysics. And while there is a need for grounding, there's a little bit of a, I want to say warning, but admonition maybe, or advice to balance out with grounding. I feel, on the other hand, that deep down you have this faith that the energies you're working with and the techniques that you're using will ground you eventually. And though you have this belief, and it's good to have faith and trust that your spiritual work and your spiritual adventures and learning, that it's not going to take you away from a positive and healthy state. You don't want you to be too concerned, but there's this wisdom piece here. Remind yourself to ground. Let's look at the High Priestess. It's very important to ground. If you look at the High Priestess, she's a number 2 card, and she has a pillar on each side mirroring that number 2. She is balanced. She is all about the balance. And she has control over the fluctuations of her intuition. It is under her foot. The moon is under her foot. This, moon represents intuition, and it's also constantly changing, which makes it ungrounded. But she has put wisdom above intuition. It's above her heart. It's above her third eye. It's at her feet, but it's still very much part of her. It's at her foundation, but it's not her only foundation. It's only on one side. You see what I'm saying? So part of wisdom, which is also represented by the high priestess, part of wisdom is remembering that the physical is just as potent a teacher as the metaphysical. So they have to work hand in hand as equals, as these two pillars are equal. Okay? And so in the Kabbalah tree of life, there's 3 pillars, and this is part of what this represents. So you got the masculine pillar on this side and the feminine on that side. The feminine is the material in this depiction. The masculine is the immaterial, the spirit, of thought, of feeling, and all of that. And she sits right in the middle. Straight from above to earth, represented by this cross, and balanced between spirit and material. Pretty cool, huh? All right. Well, let's see number 2. So overall, this is encouraging you to challenge how you express and embrace your own wisdom, to take the spiritual and balance it in wise ways with physical and with grounding. Okay? And let's see how this relates to relationships, since this is the theme of the reading. We have the King of Wands mirroring the Knight of Wands over here. Let's just set him up here. You have the King of Wands. The Knight of Wands is looking up at the hypnosis card, but you can also see he's looking up here to the King. And Four of Wands. And the World. Completion and balance. So if this this Page of Wands is you, it looks like, this represents a completed cycle. It looks like you may have kind of ignored, some of the wisdom in the past that's behind you. You're looking away from it here in this depiction, the pages. And it also could represent a past life that you've forgotten, where you had like a high level of knowing, but you're not able to see it yet. And so you're trying to see over here to this King, because the Page wants to grow and mature into the King of Wands. Okay? So then we have stability here next to the High Priestess. And I feel that you don't really want stability. You want freedom. Because there's a little bit of an energy of like antagonism between these cards. Like they're like they feel energetically to me like magnets that are on the wrong side that push against each other. And I feel like when I brought in the relationship component, I started feeling like oppositional energy. So there's some kind of like, you really want to have and accept and appreciate the knowing that you have. You don't want to have to fight other people's opinions. That's what I feel like this King represents. Although the Page is looking up to the King feels like either your subconscious or maybe a parental voice in your head or an actual parent or someone like a parent who just doesn't seem to understand where the Page is coming from. The King is not looking at the Page. He's looking over at the horizon and his own ideas. And we have the Four of Swords. So it's kind of like the Four of Swords feels like withdrawal in the sense of kind of giving up. But I feel like you're giving up on that relationship. We see him in the stained glass. Someone is helping this person who is supplicating her for some help. So it shows that, you will be getting the information that you need eventually. So you're in this situation where there's been people in your life who didn't really take you seriously, didn't take your interests seriously, didn't take you seriously, and it's caused you to kind of say, nope, I don't want, this is a Saturn card here. It's about like, the world is a Saturn card, and it's about, tradition as well. And you're like, I don't want that. Back turn to that. No, I don't, I'm kind of at odds with the king, and I don't really want the stability right now. So I'm just going to retreat and withdraw and trust myself. And so it's kind of like a razor thin edge here, where on one hand, it's very important and good to establish trust and faith in your own perceptions. You just have the misfortune of having some people influencing you right now whose vibration is off, And so there's this powerful retreat. So let's just pull these antagonizing influences out, okay? I'm just going to remove them off the table entirely. So we're left here with a need to ground, but you don't want to follow bad advice or the advice of people who don't see the true you, who don't support you, and all of that. So the next question would be, okay, what do I do then? What do I do? What do you do, number twos? I'm feeling to which deck to pull from, and I'm feeling this one, the Weaver Tarot. Okay. Two of Wands. It's a big picture thinking, which I'm being shown by the guides. You're very capable of kind of taking a step back and looking at things from a bigger, broader perspective. And I feel that will help you know what to do next, how to proceed from here. And you can just turn away from the influences that don't make you feel good. The people who, they may be well-intentioned, but if they don't feel good, you don't have to receive advice from them. And then we have the Seeker of Cups, which is the Page of Cups. So this Page of Wands is a passionate seeker with a lot of strong feelings. And it's a very personal, very creative. The Seeker of Cups, the Page of Cups, is the child in us that just wants love. And this part of you, this inner child that just wants love, deserves it. You deserve it. And it's okay to acknowledge that part of yourself. And when you kind of scout out your own territory for your life, don't worry about what other people say or think. That's the Two of Wands. When you can do that, maybe you'll start to feel like you can let that inner child soften up a little bit and get his or her needs met. King of Swords and the last card. Six of Wands. So this is an assurance to you. The Six of Wands is an assurance to you that you are going to overcome. You are going to prevail. And you're going to find that path that is truly yours and have the freedom to walk it and feel good and confident. So your inner child feels happy and doesn't feel squashed or told what to do or misguided by others. King of Swords. This is a side of you that you have developed strong mental boundaries, strong thoughts, strong opinions, defender of your position. You may have learned to be this way. And it does serve you when it's needed to draw out the sword of thought and of communication. You can do it. You can do that. And you know this about yourself. And so it's time for you to step into the adult role more fully, so to speak, and to take that full ownership of your own knowing and your own wisdom. And that's going to allow you to ground without having to fight anyone else in their ideas and their thoughts about you, what you're doing, etc. So I think that wraps it up. And I hope this was helpful, and blessings to you, number twos. Hello, number threes. Thanks for joining me today, and let's get started. So for the Empath Oracle, we have, in this situation, it's important to offer a kind gesture. Spread some random kindness. You can pick one thing to do that is kind or a bit out of your way. This gesture will help to create a positive ripple effect that will stay with you and with the person whom you helped. Contribute to creating the kind of world that you want to live in. So sometimes this card comes up when we have been ruminating on our problems and looking for solutions and kind of keeping our nose to the grindstone. And it's time to make a little shift and to break up that routine that can be very stressful and just do something thoughtful. I mean, studies show that acts of kindness boost our happiness levels and our mental health. So, you know, if you want to do it because wisdom suggests doing it or because science backs up the effectiveness, you know, it's a good idea. We have the Weezer Tarot here. Get a bigger picture for the reading. Let's see what the messages are for you. Okay, number threes. What is your message for today? The cards are very shifty today. Like there's a lot of things that could come through for you. So we have the Devil in reverse on one hand. Very interesting. And we have the King of Wands, which we pulled in the last spread. And, oh dear, number threes. You got some challenging things happening here. Let's pull another. No, that's not it. I just feel intuitively your energy is like a little bit turbulent, but knows what it needs. Oh gosh, speaking of which, we have the reversed Ten of Swords. My goodness, number threes, you've been through a thing or two here. However, the reversals can indicate change. And although the tarot is dramatic, it doesn't always refer to terrible, terrible things. You know, like if you were waiting for your package in the mail and you asked the cards, will my package arrive today? And you pulled Ten of Swords. That's the card's way of saying no. Maybe your package is delayed. But the theme is the package. It's not like your whole life is going to be upended. So it's relative, right? The cards are relative to the situation they're referring to. Doesn't mean you're going to, you know, be stabbed in the back. But taking all these together, it does indicate a few obstacles for you. And my guidance is telling me to pull from this deck. So we're gonna we got the Fool here. Make sure that's in frame. Sorry. I have a tendency to go too low with the cards. There. It's pretty good, I think. Okay. We have the Fool. We have the Seven of Cups. Okay, that's enough. I see what it is. You've been dealing with drama. It's been drama. And more specifically, I feel that you've had drama at work. It has a strong feeling of obligation to it, especially with the Devil. The Devil can be all about obligations and being chained to them. The Devil is a Capricorn. Capricorns want to succeed at all costs. And So the devil is very persistent. Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it can be a little self-destructive or uncomfortable. So this is drama at work, and it's not good. It's kind of like, taken together, this spread feels like the Tower card because we have disruption, we have some heartache. We have this strict ruler and the King of Wands. And then here with the Weaver Tarot, we have the Seven of Cups, which can be, I feel this is relevant to someone at work, the King of Wands. Seven of Cups can be about not seeing clearly, kind of your head's in the clouds. It can mean one is, I don't want to use the word deluded, but more to the point, one is not seeing clearly. So you have a situation at work, perhaps management, common problem, management isn't seeing clearly what the issues actually are. So they've got their head in the sky. And then we have the devil in reverse over here. And this, to me, paired with the themes and paired with the King of Wands, suggests leadership that is really out of control. It's on its head here, and then not seeing clearly. Again, the Fool can indicate innocence, and also, in the traditional tarot, the Fool is walking off a cliff. So, and all of this drama has created an upset for you. I feel it's, for most people, it's in the workplace. Excuse me. It's created a lot of upset. A lot of people have been hurt. And there's a lot of pressure here. So, question is, how does one navigate a situation like this? And in the middle, interestingly, we have this offer a kind gesture card. And we'll see how that fits as we continue with our reading here. So we have the Ace of Wands. So this being placed under offer a kind gesture. This feels like this is the power that you do have. This person has this wand. That's their power. The one power that you have is to be kind to the stressed out people around you. Just to maintain that kind heart, and rise above the chaos. For some of you, it might not be toxic at work in terms of people, but it might be just too much going on at once, which can lead to obstacles and misunderstandings and blind spots. All right. Definitely feels very much out of control. We have the Seeker of Swords, or the Page of Swords. So again, it feels like, these cards here are kind of clarifying the cards above them. And so we have the Seeker of Swords. The Page of Swords is very idealistic, and this is a very positive sword. The bird is rising up into the air, and the sword is like the answer. I see the aces as being answers because they're radiating. And so I feel that you're either a very good verbal communicator and or written communicator. And there's certain things that you can say that will disrupt some of the communication issues represented by the Three of Swords. This is like misunderstandings, hurt feelings, and all of that. And we have Ruler of Wands again. So when I pull, this is King of Wands, Ruler of Wands. So when I pull twice, that's telling me we have come full circle, and the whole picture has been laid out. So this being here as a clarifier is suggesting, since this is an authority figure for you in this spread, this says you can start taking some authority. You can start taking on leadership qualities. And you may be better at solving some problems than your manager, supervisor, whoever this may be here. My guides are telling me that this is the message, that the message was delivered. You know, that you can't necessarily just snap your fingers and then all this goes away. But some of these cards that underneath are showing the power that you do have. And you do have some power here. So I'm just going to wrap up with one more card, Perspective. All about a perspective shift. Focus on what power you do have, and that will create a solution to your problems. All right, thanks, number 3s, and I'll see you next time. Blessings to you. Hello, number 4s. So let's get started and see what your Empath Oracle card is. We have, in this situation, it is important to have realistic expectations. Having positive expectations can help to create more of what you want to see happen. At times, though, it is important to balance optimism with groundedness. There is only so much that you see right now. This is a reminder that there is more to discover. Be positive, but also proceed with a balanced attitude. So, number 4s, that kind of speaks for itself, and we're going to pull some clarifiers to see what this is referring to specifically for you. We've got the Weaver Tarot here, and we're going to give it a little shuffle. And 6 of Cups, one of my favorite cards. I love 6 of Cups. This is nostalgia, relationship, children. And the Chariot on this side. Movement, change, growth, restraint. So I think this is referring to a family issue with the 6 of Cups. Feels like children, maybe pets if you don't have children in your life. A lot of people see their fur babies as their children. That's valid. And then we have some factor here that is changing or moving. Leaving, could be career change even. And I feel like there's this fear, how's this going to affect life as it is? How's this going to affect everybody else in the picture here? Let's pull a few more. The Seeker of Coins or Page of Pentacles. So this is a clarifier. This one, a lot of times for me, refers to a child. So this has to do with kids or dependents, or, you know, for you, some people, it might be that you are a little bit dependent in some way on things staying as they are. So it could be like that part of you as well. And we have change here. So we're going to pull a few more from this tarot deck. We have Eight of Wands, fast change. So we have a very clear picture here of what we're dealing with. Someone is making some choices in your life that is creating an upset or instability. The Chariot sometimes refers to the need for stability. You got to keep those, well, in the traditional tarot it's sphinxes, but or horses, however you want to visualize what pulls the chariot, but they've got to be stable or the chariot will topple, right? So have the Three of Swords, pulled that last time. Change. Three of Swords is all about change, because the Two of Swords is about decisions and the Three of Swords is about the outcome. You have 2 decisions, which are these 2 cards. The only way to proceed is you have to make a choice, and that's the 3rd sword down the middle. And it's not always easy to make changes. Clearly, it's not easy for number 4s. Okay, 2 of Swords. This also indicates being a bit closed off. So, 2 of Swords does show that you've had to make a choice. And you eventually came to a compromise to allow this change to take place in your life, whoever wanted that change. And it's going to ripple out. It's going to affect other aspects of life or dependence in your life. And change is also scary because it has to do with the unknown. And so realistic expectations can mean, hey, ground your positive expectations with realism, but it can also mean ground your dread with, the knowledge that oftentimes things do work out just fine. So you can put it in the reverse as well. We're going to pull a lot of Cancerian energy in this spread too, with the Chariot and home and, feeling of being a parent, or managing a household, managing the status quo, you could say, as well. You don't have to be a parent, but these are the themes. Okay, let's pull from our Oracle deck. We have the Iris. The Iris is very magical, and it has to do with the goddess too, and it has to do with the goddess Iris specifically, who brings heaven down to earth. So there's a very there's a feeling of a maternal presence, and there's going to be a shakeup. But you are being watched over, okay? Nightshade. That is toxicity and poison, and you had to make a choice that wasn't easy in order to move forward. And roots. So there's a lot of sadness in this spread. So this is a card of change, movement, and there's some sadness with that. But this goddess energy is energy that you have within yourself. Protector, bringing what is divinely meant for you into your life. That is Iris. And you have this capacity to start over, to grow again, to put down new roots. You really do have that capacity. So it's not the end of the world if you have to go through a change, a move, breakup, something that alters your life substantially. And I feel like there's some good and bad with this situation. And it's important not to assume it's going to be all good or all bad. It's definitely some bittersweetness, some sadness, a little bit of loss. But you're definitely resilient enough and watched over by the divine. I get that strong feeling with the Iris card. Watched over by the divine. And you have skills and social skills, the ability to put down roots socially, that will really be of benefit to you. And you can see here this magic potion down underground. That's your resilience, your inner resources. One more card. In this situation, it is important to stop and breathe. Sometimes you don't have to take action right now. The missing piece can and does fall into place naturally. Allow yourself to breathe and release ideas on the outcome. Everything will be okay. Let it come together. Let it happen. So is this not exactly what I was saying? I love that so much. Just breathe through the emotions, breathe through the challenges, and you will be fine. You'll be just fine. And your worries will dissolve, is what the guides are saying to me. I feel like you're very blessed and divinely guided, and what's happening to you is happening for a reason. I just get that very strongly. I have Cauldron. To me, this is a community card. And I want to put it next to the Roots card. So I feel a strong need to tell you that you're going to have community. That is going to be fine. I just keep hearing that. This means that there are things behind the scenes in life. All the good things you've done in your life and the positive community that you have developed and the skills and the abilities, they're all working in your favor. And you are going to be okay. I hope this message resonated, number 4s, and blessings to you.